Hey, what's going on, Gaijins and Gaijins? This is Good Gaijin Greg, and I'm back with another video. And as you can see, I'm in my work uniform because right now Japan is finally starting to open up, and yay for that. And that means a new influx of teachers. So, seeing as how I've been here for 5 years and I have about 5 years worth of English teaching experience, I figured I'd give you a few tips that I've found help me out when I came to Japan, and some things I wish I knew because I did not do everything right. So these are going to be about 12 tips for those of you that are hoping to someday come over to Japan, and those who are either on their way here or are here now just starting. And hopefully this will ease you into this whole teaching experience. Number one, do your research on what company you want to work for. Do your research. There are a bunch of them out there. Some of them are great, some of them are sus, and you really want to find one that fits you well. If you're coming over here and you plan on just being here for like a year or two just to have the experience, then you can be a bit more lenient on where you want to work and how much you want to be paid and things like that. But if you're coming over here as like a serious job and this is what you want to do for like 5, 10, 20 years or something like that, you want to retire an English teacher kind of thing, definitely do your research. A lot of people, they'll go for some of the lower paying ones just so they can get over here, because once you're in Japan, it's a lot easier to find jobs, because a lot of places that you apply for will say only for people living in Japan, because they don't want to have to worry about if you're actually going to come over. So definitely do your research, make sure you're getting paid the amount you want, make sure there's a pension, see what areas they have, that kind of thing. Some places, they have this thing called prorate months, where if you're not working, you're not getting paid. So like if it's some places, if it's a holiday, the days that you're not working, you're not getting paid. Or if you're in between contract signings, you won't be paid for the time where you're not working. So if you're okay with that, great. If not, start, look at different places. Save money, because you will get over here. Some places, they don't pay for your living expenses for the first couple of months, or you won't be getting paid for those first couple of months. So make sure you have some money saved up. Sometimes they'll help you pull out a loan. I wouldn't really suggest that. That can be something that comes back later and bites you in the butt, and you won't have to, and your paychecks are going to be really, really light. And so save some money ahead of time. There's no reason why you should be coming over here. Like I said, you're signing up for it. You're starting to go ahead and do all your research for the places. You're getting ready to go over here. You have months in advance, and you could be going and learning all the Japanese instead of coming over here and living in Japan and starting there and not knowing any Japanese. Stop that. You're going to come over here and they're going to either say some things, do some things. Some things will be different, more than likely, from the culture that you're coming from. Be open-minded about it. Don't try to, don't take things personally, and definitely don't come over here and tell them that their culture is wrong and they need to change their culture for you. That's exceptionally selfish and very closed-minded, because you wouldn't want somebody visiting your country and telling you your country is wrong. and the way that you think is wrong. So don't come into their country and do the same thing. You're coming over to Japan to experience their culture and the differences in it. So don't come over here and try to change their culture into your culture. That's messed up. Gross. Don't do that. Everyone doesn't need to go to Tokyo. Tokyo's great. I've been a few times. It's hot as crap in the summer, but it's really fun. Lots to do, to see, lots of people. Women are super attractive there. Food's great. Tokyo's great. But it makes this tiny little part of all of this Japan. All of this is still Japan. And you just want to go right here. Tokyo's a great place to visit, but experience, the Osakas, the Iwates, the Aomoris, all Saitamas, all that. There's all this other Japan. Don't just stay here. Don't just want to go here. It's a great place to visit. More than likely, you're going to start there when you first get over for your training and things. So you'll see Tokyo. I promise you, you will see Tokyo. But try to get someplace different, especially if you're coming from a city. Try to get a rural area, mix it up. See what it's like to live out there in the middle of nowhere. I mean, I've lived here for I'm from Chicago. Before I left, I lived in Orlando. So I'm used to living in cities, but I was perfectly flexible with where they were going to send me. And they sent me to literally the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And I loved it. I loved those 3 years, and, I miss it. And even now I live still in the middle of nowhere, but I'm in between mountains and the sea, and it's gorgeous here. So you don't know what you'll, find if you don't go on this adventure. And that's what this is. This is a big adventure. You're in a whole different country with different people and a different culture. Don't just go to the city. Eat the school lunch. Very simple. Eat the school lunch. Try everything. Try not to be too picky with what you eat. Yeah, there might be some things that you might not like. Cheap. It's about, depending on where you're at, like the one that I pay is about $50 to $60 a month, which is cheaper than if I actually had to make lunch for myself every single day for 5 days. Depending on where you are, the portions could be good sized. You may get rice with it. Some places you have to bring your own rice, or bread if you want that. They will make accommodations if you have allergies or anything like that. Make sure you tell them, and make sure you pay attention, because sometimes they just throw stuff in there and they're like, oh, that's right, you're allergic to that. And so make sure you pay attention. But I would definitely say eat the school lunch. A lot of it's really, really good. The only days I don't like are when it's natto days, and not because I don't like natto. I think natto's fine. But they replace meat with natto. And I'm like, you don't replace meat with natto. But it's very healthy. You'll have at least one well-balanced, healthy meal for your entire day. So if you're like me and you kind of eat whatever you want to, it's always nice to have one designated meal throughout your day that's, got a big helping of vegetables and miso and pickled vegetables and things like that. Things that are really, really good for you and nicely well balanced. And it's good, honestly. I eat everything, so, take what I say with a grain of salt. But to me, I still know what's good. And it's good. It's good for you. Well balanced. You get a good amount. And eat school lunch. It's good. Take part in as many things as you can, both in and out of school. I know a lot of people like their free time, but again, you're here for the adventure. Experience the school that you're at. You don't want it to just be a job. You want to have fun with it. So make sure when you hear about your school doing things, you do it. When undokai or sports day, more than likely you'll be required to come, but some schools, they'll ask you if you want to come and you can refuse and things like that. Go to undokai. Undokai is fun. Yeah, you'll have to give up a Saturday or a Sunday depending on how it runs. But a lot of the times you'll get that Monday off to cover for it. But even then, it's not like you're teaching or anything. You're sitting out in the sun having fun with kids. So is it really a work day? Yes, but it's a fun work day. But yeah, try to do as many things as you can with your school, and then try to find groups. Like there are Line groups. Line is like a conversation app out here, or Facebook groups in your area, so you can go on different trips. You can go to barbecues or cultural events, try on different Japanese like armor and kimono and things like that. Try different Japanese desserts and meal things. Go to different festivals, things like that. So yeah, definitely try to find different websites or groups in your area so that you can experience the things in your area. You don't want to just spend your whole time living in Japan doing the stuff that could still do in America, like watching TV and playing video games. You want to get out and experience the town that you're living in or the city that you're living in so you can, really get to understand where you live and whether you enjoy it or not. You can't really say you enjoy or not enjoy a place if all you did was stay at home and didn't meet anybody or do anything. So yeah, get out, try the stuff with your school, try the stuff in your town, experience the area. A lot of the times, some people feel like they're just a living, breathing recorder with these English jobs where you just say things from the book and the students repeat, and that's your job. And that can be your job if that's how you let it be. But a lot of the times you can talk to the principal, talk to the teachers, and whatever your personal skill set is, you can plan your classes, around that. So for me, I love cooking. And so I'll talk to the principal, I'll talk to the teachers, and I will ask them, hey, can we have a cooking class where I teach them how to make this or this thing from the book or something like that? And I'll make a menu in English and they have to read along with me, and I tell them how to cook something in English and they have to follow along. And if they have trouble, the teacher will translate, or if I know the words, I will translate for them. But then I get to do something that I enjoy. They get to try something new. And most of the time I'm teaching them how to make a food that they've never had before because it's a Western dish. Or if they have had it, they haven't had it like Western style. So like if it's spaghetti, they've had Japanese spaghetti, which is like cut wiener sausages in there and like green peppers and onions and stuff and like ketchup, like really like ketchup sauce compared to like the way that I make it. So, or like one time I showed them how to make nachos for the first time. And of course, none of them have ever had nachos. So yeah, you get to show a lot of different things to the students, and you get to make your class a lot more interesting. And you're not just a recorder. And even if it's not something as big as a cooking class, you can at least bring in like if you're an artist, you can bring in different pictures that you draw or draw something with the students and things like that. Basically, talk to your principals and your teachers and try to arrange something so that you can make the class much more interesting. So it's not always just the book reading and repeating every time. To piggyback off of that, make sure you show your interests to your students. Don't just, maybe do your introduction and be like, I like video games and anime, and not bring any of that into the class. If you're doing something in the class and you're showing like different motions, like running and skipping and stuff, show different anime characters doing it, or make a PowerPoint with like video of it or something like that. If your interest is cooking, share that with the class. If it's art, share that with the class. If it's music, you can bring in different music, maybe print out some lyrics and have them sing along with the song in English. Now it's karaoke in the class, and the kids are learning English by singing a song. And who knows, you may introduce them to an artist that they really, really like, and they start getting more into English because they found an English, artist that they really, really dig on. And now they're more interested in English because they want to learn how to sing these songs. So, you can spark more interest in the language other than just reading from the book. So show them your interests, and it'll make them interested in you, because some of them will have the same interests as you. So you never know what, you may turn one kid from, an FD student to a BA student just because you both share the same interest and you're introducing them into more of something that they're interested in a different culture and language. So share your interests. Kids will be kids. Let kids be kids. You can't, if they're doing something that is harmful, tell the teacher. Most English teaching jobs, you're not allowed to, discipline the children at all. So definitely tell a teacher if they're doing something, disruptive or wrong. But, if they're playing around, if they're doing goofy stuff, don't take it too seriously. If they're doing the old, don't take it too seriously. If you're really uncomfortable with that, definitely tell a teacher. Definitely tell them no. They understand no. Or you can just say, dame. Depending on if your Japanese is good or not, they might mock you for it. So be careful with that. And then if you're really serious about it, tell a teacher, tell the vice principal. And they'll talk to the kids and tell them not to do that. My first year when I came, a kid did the old thousand years of pain, and I jokingly said it to the teacher, and the teacher pulled him into the office and was like, "Hey, you don't do that." And I was like, "Oh no, I just got here and the kid's gonna hate me because I got him in trouble day one." But it was fine. The kid, the very next day, he had no problem playing with me or whatever. But yeah, try not to take things personal. Try not to take things too seriously. If you are very different from them, they will, especially younger kids, they will just blurt out some stuff. So, if you're heavier, they'll pat your stomach. Like for me, the kids, I have a bigger chest. So the kids will be like, "Oppai, oppai," which means breast. "Oppai." I'm like, "Dame." Or they'll touch my head and pat it. So yeah, don't take yourself too seriously. These are kids. Kids do goofy stuff. They don't think that they're hurting anything by what they're saying or doing most of the time. Sure, some of the older kids, they will pick on you a little bit, but don't take it too seriously. Again, you're bigger than them. So whatever. If something really does bother you, if they say some really out of pocket stuff, like I said, tell the teacher. But other than that, just let it roll off. It's not that serious. They're just kids. Make sure you check online or with other teachers and exchange different teaching tools, different websites, different articles or prepared things that they have. If you can, go visit other teachers while they're teaching, if you have a free day or something like that, and watch how they teach and take some things from there. The place that you work might have a database of different things you can use, like pictures and flashcards, things like that, and lesson plans and worksheets. So definitely check online for those kind of things. If you want, well, no, not if you want. I'm gonna do it. In the link in the description, I will put I'll put links to three that I tend to use, which is altwiki.net, ESL Kid Stuff, and then the Teacher's Corner I use a lot. And these are three really good sites that you can print out worksheets and lesson plans and things like that. And then talk to the other teachers. You're not going to be the only teacher at this company, so talk to the other teachers, especially the ones in your area, and take lesson plans and things like that from them, and just trade back and forth. You can learn all types of stuff and make the class way more interesting that way. And it'll make the time just fly by, and you won't have to and you can have things for those days when the teacher comes in and is like, all right, we don't really have anything, or we have a short day, so we don't have time for like a full lesson. Do you have a game for us? Do you have a worksheet? Do you have, and you can just be like, I got a thing, and you won't have to worry about it. Okay, last tip, be prepared for the elements. In the winter, because Japan does have all four Japan has 5 seasons. It's got winter, spring, summer, fall, and then it's got the rainy season. And I know some of you thinking like rain, that's not a season. No, in Japan it's a season. It is a season. It is the rainy season, and it's in spring, and it's like a month or so where it's just so yeah, 5 seasons. And make sure you're prepared for all of them when they come around. In the summer, make sure you have an extra shirt in your car, because depending on where you are, you will be sweating like a pig. Like, seriously, you will be drenched, especially if you're one of those people that really wanted to go to Tokyo. Guess what? You'll be there, and it is hot as hell in Tokyo. So hot. In the summer, oh my God, it is unbearable. And I like hot weather, and I couldn't stand it. So make sure you have deodorant in your bag. You have the cleansing wipes. I don't know, I never used them in America, but in Japan they have these like wipes that you know, and they keep you cool. They have a cooling thing and everything, and they have some smell good and stuff like that. So keep the wipes, keep some deodorant, keep an extra shirt, because you will sweat, especially if you teach kindergarten. You will definitely sweat. And then, you know, you might go outside to play with the kids during recess, things like that. You probably have to worry about that less if you're teaching junior high or high school. They don't really, they're too cool to go outside a lot of the times. But, you know, you might have to go outside for like undokai practice or like something like that, or you just might want to go outside. So yeah, keep that stuff in your car for the summer. Keep an umbrella in your car, because it's going to rain a lot, especially in the spring into the summer. In the winter, keep a shovel in your car if you live someplace where there's snow. If you live up north, Iwate, Aomori, those areas, Hokkaido. If you live in those areas, keep a shovel in your car and a pair of boots and maybe some salt or some kitty litter or or they have like these traction things that you can put under your car if your car gets stuck. Definitely keep a shovel in your car. Because you will go to work and you will come back and your car will be in like 5 feet of snow. It has happened to me where I just like, all right, park my car, time for work, come back out, got to dig my car out before I go home. And if I didn't have a shovel, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And make sure you put your windows up or your windshield wipers up, because the snow will come and just cover it up. Yeah, always be prepared. In the winter, if you live someplace with snow, make sure you wake up early, because you're going to go out there and you're going to spend like 20, 30 minutes digging your car out. Or if you have a driveway, having to shovel your driveway. So yeah, definitely be prepared for the elements out here because they are severe. Definitely come prepared. And that's about it. That's about it. I hope some of these tips you were able to take on, and hopefully they'll help. If you're getting ready to come over, or you just got here, welcome. I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, try to have an open mind to the entire experience, the culture, the kids, the teachers. Try to, go with the flow of things. Don't be so, pensive when it comes to things. If it's not a part of your job, try to do it anyway, If a teacher asks you to help shovel, no, that's not part of your job. You're not a shoveler, but help out the teachers, They appreciate it. You become they are a lot more open to you if you actually help out and are a teacher at the school and not just, no, I'm an English teacher. I don't get paid for that. I'm not helping you shovel. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. If you become that teacher, then they won't do things for you and they won't help you for things because you're that jerk teacher that didn't want to help because it wasn't part of your job and you weren't getting paid for it. Be part of the community, be more open to some stuff. Enjoy that you're over here in the first place. You came here to live in Japan and experience Japan. So experience it. Don't try to change it into something that fits you better. That's not the point of going to a different culture. But that's enough preaching for me. Like I said, hope this helps you. Enjoy your time in Japan. Enjoy your time as an English teacher. I personally love it, even if I do get paid, not the greatest. But it's the experience of being an English teacher that keeps me here and makes me want to stay. So for me, I love it. Hopefully you love it too. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.